All right. We arrive in Michigan, a huge state, as you can see. I would say like pretty much two states. You can see one here and one pretty much in Canada. I would say, but yeah, and they have like a narrow, you can see here, water that separates those. But let's see how those folks actually live here. And then start with some data. The flag first, I would say it's pretty nice. I mean, I kind of like it. Unfortunately, it's just the seal on the blue background. That's it, pretty much. So, yeah, not huge, but overall, as you can see, even the seal looks pretty good. So, I guess it's better than the white background, but I don't know. You be the judge of that. What else can we see here? First of all, the population, which I'm more interested. It's like this one, 10 million people, and guess what? They start to go down. Okay. If not, it's exactly for me it's good. I always like to see populations goes down. We talked about that. What are the benefits? What are the also some things that are not so good, but overall it's a net positive. But for the government, for those people in power there, it's a huge warning signal, huge one, because politics wants, especially on those on the left, they want as many people as one because they know their policy cannot survive on the same people for a long time because they are bad policy. And after, let's say, 30 years of bad policies, people wake up and they want to vote for the right, and they need new people to vote for them. So another reason why they have mass migration, they love it because they have to replace the voters pool because after a while people realize that the left side, they just promise things and they never deliver. So usually they deliver poverty, but if you're lucky, just they don't deliver at all, nothing. That's the best case for them. Just they don't change anything, they don't deliver anything, but at least you don't get poorer. But recently you get poorer. So that's why they need always a constant of new people, of new voters to survive. But now you can see they start going down, and they're ranking 10th in the state, in the country. Median household income, as you can see, it's around $72,000 back in 2024. So by now, probably it's around $75,000. It's a landlocked state, as you can see. They have an opening to the lakes, but not sea or oceans. So we're gonna see the elevation. The average one is around 270 meters. Highest that they have, it's around 603 meters, and the lowest it's 174 meters. I say those in meters. I know the American folks, they're using feet, but it's a bit weird for me to. We have the data here if you're interested. That's why I make those videos with this Wikipedia page, so we can see conversion in feet. Yeah, doesn't make that much sense for the Europeans, for the rest of the world, but for the Americans is the way the system that they use. So fine by me. What else can we see about those guys? They have an official language, because official language is none. They put English de facto, but it's official, it's not. So the spoken language is like English 91%, Spanish 3.8%, Arabic 1%, and others 4.9%. The Spanish 3.8%. We're gonna see that in a demographic how they stand there. So they start actually speaking spoken language. Be aware of that. So those people, I'm not sure exactly how they calculate that, if they speak only Spanish, but it kind of feels like that to me, because otherwise why they put them here, it's not official language, so you're not gonna have like government paper send it to you in Spanish or Arabic. But for those blue states, blue cities, I would tell you more than blue states, blue cities, I will not be surprised if they do that in the near future. So yeah, let's see what we have here. Some sort of a pre-colonial European era, whatever you want to call. Nice. Look at this nice forts here on the shore of the lake. Looks absolutely great. I kind of prefer, I have to say, the weather's definitely is going to be much colder than you're going to see in Florida, but it's a lake, you know, you don't have crocodiles, you don't have sharks, you don't have all those problems, and it does look pretty good. Look at the water, it's really clean, really nice. So it's a really good place, geographically at least, to live. They have here the city. What city is it? What, Detroit? I think Detroit is the main city. The capital, it's Lansing. Okay, but the largest city, it's Detroit. And the largest county, don't care about. The largest metro area, it's Detroit. Detroit, one of those cities that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, after financial crisis, they go bankrupt. Things, I'm not sure they pick up that much since then. So we're gonna see that, how things are going in Detroit. Definitely is gonna be some good areas no matter what. Otherwise it'd be like definitely empty. And some areas not so great. So we're gonna see how well they pull back since then. But the lakes looks absolutely great. Look at this, nice. I mean, kind of looks a bit more like Canada in that north is very close to it, like it's have a border to Canada. So it does look really nice in those regions. I mean, look at this. Geographically speaking, absolutely great, absolutely great. It's one of those nice, beautiful states that you can see in the United States. It does look pretty good. Climate, as you can see, in this very south part, it's hot summers with humid continental, and in this northern part, like most of the state, you're gonna have like warm summer, not hot summer, warm summer, humid continental. It's gonna be much colder, but it does look nice on those lakes. They genuinely look really good. What we have here, people per square mile. You can see in the north when the when it's more beautiful, you're not gonna see that many people. And here in the Detroit area, most likely you're gonna see the most concentrated of people. And these people right there, I can assure you that their life quality is not gonna be that great as often we see with larger cities. For the most of them, obviously. For some of them, very few of them, probably less than 10%, they're absolutely great. For the rest of them, and most of them, absolutely garbage. But let's look at the census. And we have this one, 1800. So 3,700 people you can see live here at the beginning. But this is from the 19th century. From the 20th century at the beginning is like 2.4 million people. As you can see, huge increase. So things picking up really good there. The beginning of 21st century, even better, almost 10 million people. So a huge amount of population growth here. But watch this, 2010. Population start to go down. 2020 populations go up again, and 2025 they say they have a mildly increase in population, but I have a feeling by 2026 that they see those slowly decrease. I think what they call it. This is from, they don't have the 2025 they say, so they say they slowly decrease the population. Yeah, I'm gonna be bet with you by the next census, by 2030 they're gonna see a population going down most likely, unless they start to import even more migrants. So yeah. Probably they keep an eye on those data, those lawmakers there, and especially from the Democrat Party, to make sure they always have a new pool of people that are gonna vote for them. This one that I'm interested in is more the racial ethnicity. Let's check this one. So keep in mind, look at this: whites in 1980s, they are around 84% of the population. In 2020, 72% of the population. So they go down. Blacks back then in the 1980s, 12%. Now they are 13%, and they start going down, as you can see. So things are not going well for those two groups of people. Native Americans from 0.43% to 0.47%. They have an increase in population, as you can see, especially with this. Blacks also, they have an increase. The whites, they have a decrease in population, but not that much for any other those group. I mean, like they start in 80s with 40,000, now they got like 47,000. The blacks from 1.2 to 1.3, and the whites from 7.7 to 7.2. So those one, they are actually going down in numbers too, not just in percentage, but overall those three groups, as you can see, they're going down. But Asians, watch this, Asians from the 1980s, they were like 0.6%, now 3.3%. They started in the 80s with 56,000 people, and now in 2020 they have 332,000 people. So huge increase in this demographic, in this ethnicity. Native Hawaiian and Pacific didn't even count them back then. They have an increase, but not that much, so it doesn't count that much in my opinion. Other race alone, look at this one, from 1980 0.3% to 0.37%. So from 26,000 to 37,000. Still an increase, but very mildly. I will not see them as a contestant for the majority of the population in near future. Mixed race, look at this, from 1980s, they didn't even count them anymore, and by the 2020 they have like 4.3% of the population. So now there are 439,000 people, as you can see, more than the Asian. Huge increase in population too. And Hispanic and Latino, watch this, 1.7% in 1980s, and now 5.6%, as you can see, the third largest group already. And they're growing fast, from 162,000 people in the 80s to 564,000 people in the 2020. So by 2030, I will not be surprised if they count 1 million of those people. I'm gonna be honest, I am not gonna be surprised. So we will see. And keep in mind, those Hispanic and Latino group rising, mixed race rising, other race rising. Native Hawaiians, not that much, but Asian also huge in rising. But any other groups, they are pretty much plateau or going down. So it's gonna be interesting to see a replacement in population, ethnicity, and racial. And it's gonna be interesting to see how those states are gonna evolve when the whites alone they're pulling out pretty much. Blacks follows pretty soon too. Natives they didn't count that much in the first place, but the Asians, mixed race and Hispanic, they are gonna take over, I would say, and they're gonna count even more and more, especially in the policy and the lawmakers for voting. They will matter even more. So a lot of policy that we see is gonna be made specifically for them, and that's the only thing it's gonna do, just drive the whites and the blacks also out of the state. So it's gonna be interesting to see how those things is gonna go. Look at this: German, English, African American, right there, Finnish, obviously in the north, and Dutch, just a small part here in this county. But let's see what else can we see. Religion: Protestants 43%, huge, and Catholics 24%. Where are unaffiliated? 28%. So 28% unaffiliated, just like no non-believers, if you want to call it like that. They are just second biggest group right now, and this one is gonna keep growing and growing, and the other one's gonna go down. We will see how we're gonna settle on that. Again, probably by 2050 you're gonna have a much better picture. The skyline of the city looks pretty nice, although it works again for Americans. In Europe, something like that will be perceived as absolute chaotic, but in America it genuinely works. That's a nice farming here. They have nice fruits. This is clearly a Dutch neighborhood, I would say. Nice wagon here with horses, although I'm not a big fan of the horses. Nice towns that they have with a nice architecture in those regions. I keep saying this, I'm gonna say it for the entire that I make those American videos. Americans genuinely they live better than Europeans for sure. A lot of people are gonna say, oh, we don't have here the universal healthcare, all of that. Keep in mind, we don't have universal healthcare in Europe either. Every single month we pay for it, so it's not free. There's not such a thing as free. And usually what's happened here is like a lot of population, they don't even use the system because most of them, they don't need it, which is a good thing. And you end up paying for those people that abuse the system also, because there are a small percentage that they need it, and that's fine, no problem with that. But there are a lot of them that they abuse the system, and you end up paying for those guys. And in reality, you pay every month for something that you don't use. I'm not saying the American system is better because you have to pay every single time you have a doctor visit and they have insane prices, but the American system can be made, if they want them, cheaper. But the European ones, by the definition how they work, it always requires more and more money. So that's why you can keep raising our taxes with pretty much every year. And they move, another bad thing that they do, they move money around. So you pay a road tax. Some of the money that you might have thought is the road tax is going to go from the roads. No, they don't. They have a hole in another department, which is like healthcare, and they move the money there. So what you end up doing is like you pay more money on the roads. You have the word not improving the roads situation. It just pretty much stays the same or going down in the quality, because they use the money from the roads to pay for the few people that again abuse the healthcare system, and you end up paying more for less. And that's why this European system, it doesn't work. They say, oh, it's great, we have like universal healthcare, and we have like child support for everyone and free schooling and all of that. No, we don't have that either, because most of the people, as you can see in the young generation population, don't have that many kids, if they have at all. So again, you don't have kids, but you end up paying for someone else to again abuse the system because they get money because they have kids. So they have that specific demographic here, especially gypsies here in Romania, that they have like 6, 7, 8 kids just because the government pays them a certain amount of money every month for every child, and that's how they make their money. And you end up paying for someone else's kid, again, not for yours. So again, the system doesn't work in Europe, but they're gonna keep saying that it's a great system, it's absolutely amazing, and it's not. But that's why probably the Americans overall are more rich and they afford more things per individual than Europeans want. Again, I'm not saying the American system is perfect. Clearly, they have a lot of problem there. But if they want that, if they want, they can fix their system much faster than the Europeans can. And look at the map here, as you can see the Democratic states, counties, not states, obviously, the entire state, and the Republican, it's more red, and look at the map, but because the population living in those densely populated area, and they, for whatever reason, I don't understand this, but I guess it is what it is. Those in the big cities, they go for the left, they go for the for the Democrats, for again, I don't realize the reason why you go there, because those cities, we're gonna look at a minute how they look. They don't look that good. They don't look that good. And again, in those cities, the most of the people, they have fucked up lives. And just a few of them, few percentage that they actually have really good lives. And they still voting for left. It's something that hard to understand, but I guess it is what it is. Who knows, maybe in the near future we're gonna see some change in that, but I don't hold my breath for that. So let's see it here. This is probably Detroit again, like most people wants to go there because they have, like, I don't know, more opportunities and all of that, but we're gonna start here. And you can see the state of Michigan, they have a huge coastline, so it's not gonna be that expensive, I assuming, again, to buy a house on the shore, on the beach. But you know how it is, taxes and all that bullshit, and people wants to charge you for anything, and they ask like millions of dollars for pretty much garbage housing. The prices usually stay up, unfortunately. So just very few of us can afford to live on those nice coastline. Here, because they have so much, I assuming that they're gonna be a bit more affordable, but yeah, not in every location. But overall, from above, they look pretty good, and I like they have the beach pretty wide, and they have this buffer zone, which is looking pretty nice. They don't allow you, like those guys, some of them probably like older construction, to just build a house right in on the lake. And I don't know if you stay that much, or maybe it's the first time you discover those videos. We make that video, I think in Russia, was on the Black Sea coastline, and we see that guy we just genuinely built his house. I mean, like, I think like at some point that maybe the sea coming to them, but you don't have like a huge rising sea in a Black Sea. But I don't know what's happened there, but they just genuinely put his house almost not on the beach, almost in the sea, for God's sake. That was absolutely insane. I'm not sure exactly how they allow that, but hey, it's Russia. It is different rules there. The roads here, as you can see, seen definitely better days, and this is what, July 2023. Maybe they fix it by now. I'm not sure. We don't have that much data, but it does look pretty bad. And it's not exactly a good start for the infrastructure, I guess, but hey, it's just the beginning of the video, so I'm not gonna judge them that early. Have a nice small town here. Let's see how those guys doing. Pretty good, pretty good. I kind of like it. You see the road is much better condition here. The house on the nice size that I would like. Those AC system, I guess they could be pretty cool because it's easy to install and easy to replace or fix if they go bad. But and we can cool one room, which like probably the room that you sleep or the room that you spend the most time in it. Again, a centralized system for the house probably would be a bit better, but again, this is July in 2023, and it's a state in north of the United States, so I'm assuming they don't have that. Although they say in the south part of the, and we see on the map they say hot summers, but I don't think they are that hot summers here. But even if they do, again, with the other things that we discussed in other videos, with a nice shade from the trees and a dehumidifier, usually you create much better condition for living than just blasting the AC and make the house so cold and you get actually catch a cold. The road here again seen better days, and this is what, again, July 2023, so pretty recently. The neighborhood looks also pretty good. Those cables, it's not that bad, although again, I don't like to see them. Here on this side it's much worse. But you know, we seem definitely worse, so not the biggest complaint that I have here. A lot of so-called trucks there, and here I think the Chevy just came with like one of those Silverado cheap version, which like they asking for like $40,000, which like is more than double they're supposed to be. We have a Trump supporter here in Michigan, although to be fair, it's south of Michigan. So when you look at that map real quickly, just for fun, Hopefully I'm not go past that. No, yeah, here is pretty much a red state, red county. So make some sense. They have handicap parking spaces that nobody uses. So if you park here, probably you get a fine. But in the same times, they don't use it anyway. It's like so stupid in my opinion. I mean, like, okay, you want to park there? No offense. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just park there. You leave your number, your phone number on the windshield, and if somebody genuinely disabled have a permit to park there and it doesn't have a space, he can call you. You came to the car, you move the car, and that's it. But you don't leave that space unused. That's insane because people are not gonna park. Usually, they're not gonna park there because they're gonna get a car tow or a fine. But in the same time, they don't use the space anyway because not that many people actually are disabled compared with those that are not disabled. Some really bad roads here, as you can see. Here in the south part of the state doesn't look so great. Although it's a blue state, I would call it, but again, it's a Republican county, as we can see on that map at least. So yeah. Ooh, I really like this Volkswagen here. I mean, like to see European cars on American roads. Unfortunately, the Volkswagen and BMW or BMW, I want to call it, they stopped making good, reliable cars a while ago. So yeah, I'm not sure if I would like to spend my money on those European cars in the first place. But the roads here looking pretty bad, so those parts is gonna be expensive to replace on those cars. So be aware of that if you are interested in buying one of those. Let's move on the other part of the state, on the other coast. We have a huge coastline, and it's gonna be extremely nice to explore it. Let's check this. I mean, this town is not even on the street view map for whatever reason. We have the highway there, but we have these small ones. Let's check those one. It seems to be pretty decent from above, but yeah, as you can see, the street view camera didn't go here that often. This is like the October 2007, so it's probably the first time and the last time they got here, but it looks pretty decent. I'm gonna be honest, the road looks pretty good, the yards looks pretty good, the housing looks pretty good. Oh, and now we have new street view. Starting from here, let's see more clearly. This is June 2023. Cars, that was really nice, that real pickup truck. This one, no thank you. It just doesn't make any sense. They even cover the back. Why the fuck you cover? But just buy, at this point, you're better off with the SUV version. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to buy one of those. An SUV or that dimension doesn't make any sense either, but at least, I don't know, you have a bit more luxury and a bit more. I mean, look at this guy. That's pretty much the same as the other car. It's just an SUV version. It doesn't make any sense. Wow, this is an old X5. Used to look pretty good, those ones, when they make it, but again, I think they have some reliability issues, so I'm not gonna be that much interested in one of those. Ooh, I like this. Yeah, look at this. I like those guys that I will not put it exactly in the front of my house. I will try to build this garden in the back or something like that. But it does genuinely nice when you can actually grow your own things, which is pretty good. Although I will not be that highly, again, put them in the front of the yard, and also not that many vegetables unless you share it with your neighborhood, because otherwise there is no way you can eat it all. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am much bigger fan of tree that provides fruits. It's just much easier maintenance. You don't have to worry about much, and you have fresh fruits pretty much anytime you want. And even in the winter, you can take those fruits and you can put them in a jar, and you can enjoy them in a winter, or even better, share it with your neighbors. But again, that's just me. What else can we see here? This is from 2014. Okay, a bit while back, but not a big fan of this neighborhood. I'm being honest with you. Just the houses are way too close to each other. Not that much privacy. The road looks pretty good, so that's a plus. This weird fence. I don't understand why the Americans build those. I mean, like this is gonna cost much more money than they have a green one uh, from the vegetation. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me to pay more for less, pretty much. Just no thank you. What else can we find here? Again, garbage day. Again, I'm not sure exactly why exactly Google Street View chooses this day to make those street views, or which I don't think so. It is garbage day every day in the United States. I don't think so. But again, we see the same process every time. Garbage day and Halloween, pretty much most of the time. Halloween and garbage day. So October and garbage day. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's not exactly that pleasing living in those neighborhoods. But again, I have to mention this every time I make those videos. When you say it's not that pleasing or it's not looking that great or things are not going well, keep in mind we compare this as the highest standard possible. We are not taking a calculate, not to uh, put them with the rest of the world, you know, in the same, let's say, like we judge them from the same criteria. No. This right here, as it doesn't look that appealing for the Western world or for the United States itself, which United States it's the highest I would say level from the Western world. We compare this. If we compare this with the rest of the world, this is fucking paradise. Let me be clear about that. We judge American housing and American state by the highest level possible that we can actually have in this world, not by the what the rest of the world have, which is a good thing because in the Western world we have to see better, further than we can. I mean, it's nice to acknowledge that we genuinely live in a best place ever, but that doesn't mean we have to settle for less. There is no way. Keep the pressure, you make it better look, and especially when you have other example from the United States, from the even from this, we're gonna see from this state too. Uh, you should aim for that, for better every time. But keep in mind when I'm keep saying when I'm judging and say, oh, this doesn't look so great, this is absolutely garbage, and all of that, is because we compare it with the highest standard possible, which we should be here, not comparing with what the fuck's happening in Africa or other country, other continents, when we know things are not that great in the first place. So yeah, just to understand that very clearly. When I say not so great, again, comparing with the highest standard possible. Compare this one for the highest standard. It's pretty decent. They have a nice place. You can see here nice land, all of that. Not that much privacy, but that can be fixed. Compare this with what we see in, I don't know, let's say Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. This is fucking paradise. You have to understand that too. This is fucking paradise. There's nothing better than this when you compare with that. But we are not there. We are in the United States. We are in the Western world. So we have to compare with the highest standards. And I think it's a good thing. We just push for more, push for better. Always a good thing. Let's see this neighborhood here. I see that guy with the pool. So it could be a pretty nice neighborhood, which it is. Although the roads seem better days for sure, and not that much trees, so not that much privacy as you can see. Housing, pretty basic, not amazing, but still pretty nice. We definitely see much worse than this West Virginia, if you want an example of that. But I am sure they're gonna have some really nice place too. I mean, it's a much more tree line. That pool looks pretty good. And yeah, this neighborhood looks much better. Although the roads again seem better days. Not sure what's happening with the roads here in this state, but I didn't see that many good roads. Most of them they are pretty bad here. We will see when we go up north, maybe that improves, but here in the south doesn't look so great. And I have to mention in the south here, now we kind of move upwards, but still they are more on the Republican, let's say, districts. But the housing looks great, big yards, privacy, we could be work with that, but still pretty nice privacy too, because they have such a long way to the house, and the distance between the neighbors sometimes a bit too close to each other, but depends. It could be bigger for sure and more privacy, but it's fine, I guess. It's livable, let's call it like that, for the highest standards again. Never understand those fans here. Maybe you have like, I don't know, like small animals or something like that, and you don't want to go outside of your yard, but still just looks horrible. Don't like it at all. Here in this, the more main road looks a bit better, I have to say, than the other one. Even here we have some potholes, some cracks, but it's a much used road, so yeah, not great, but yes, it is what it is. They have a golf course here, which is pretty nice. And this is like a big town, or even a big city. Again, with those pools above the ground, usually it doesn't show like a rich area. It's one of those more like middle income area, or even for the Americans, even actually low income area. But yeah, we definitely seen better areas. Oof, again, roads not so great here. These RVs, look at this monstrosity. Doesn't make any sense to me. We have the discussion. Not a big fan of those. Although the street looks pretty nice with this tree line, the cables, not a big fan of those, but I guess it is what it is. Houses a bit too closer to each other, but they are looking pretty decent from the architectural point of view. Yeah, nothing wow that gonna say wow looks amazing or anything like that. Just pretty basic. And you can see a lot of those people jamming here together, so not a good thing. Farming land again. America has a lot of farming land. They have to produce a lot of food here, but for some reason it's still expensive, which is kind of weird again, but it is what it is. And from what I'm understanding, what I see on the internet right now, they start complaining about the quality of the food, which is a bit strange. Bit strange. Again, look at this Detroit area. What I like about the Americans, they keep those buildings closer to each other, those skyscrapers that they have, and then the rest of the city, they kind of have individual housing for everybody, which is really good. Really good that nobody wants to live in an apartment building. I'm telling you that right now. I live in an apartment building, one of those communist era ones, and absolutely horrible. The more bad news it is, like those new apartment buildings that they build right now, those new modern ones, they look even worse than the communist ones. They are smaller and more fucked up, and I have no idea how we got here, but it starts to be a huge issue in my opinion, but it is what it is. Now we see some good roads here. I'm not sure exactly what this guy is doing. What kind of outfit it is, like the socks are too high. I'm not sure. This is a shoe. This is a flip-flop. What the fuck is going on in here? And have a coat. I don't think it's homeless. Doesn't look to me. If it is homeless, it's dressed pretty nicely actually. But I think it's one of those regular guys. But it's a really weird outfit. The police car, Detroit police, as you can see, they have all those bumpers here. It's like they can wait to take someone out of the road with those. I don't know. This is October 2024. And now September 2023. The pandemic was pretty much over because Russian invades in 2022, if I remember correctly. And the second, I remember in Europe, a day before the Russian invasion, everything was the pandemic. In the day that Russian invades Ukraine, the pandemic was over. I will never forget that. Literally, in the same day, not a word. Nobody says, oh, a day before it was like all the news about pandemic. A day that Russia invades, not a word since then, not a word about pandemic. It was over. So it's kind of true what they say. Humans just wait for another big events to forget about the last one. So that was like one of one comparison, one of one. You can actually see it and feel it in the same time in a real life, which was like a really good experience, I have to say. For the rest of the world, not for the Ukraine and Russia, but for us, was like a really interesting experience to see how humans actually behave in those situations, which is really bad behavior that we have. Again, with those fire, we don't talk about those because we kind of don't stay that much in those main, let's say, cities and apartment buildings. The apartment building looks absolutely great. I mean, like I like the architecture, I like the windows, looks great. Europeans, we don't have that. But we don't have those fire stairs either. It's definitely American thing. In Europe, you just use the normal stairs that you walk in the building. In America, they have one on the outside. I'm not sure exactly how useful it is because in Europe we don't need it and we don't have problems with fires and say like people dying inside from burns or from the smoke intoxication. But I don't know. America tends to have those on every building that they have for the apartment buildings for the residential purpose at least, which is fine, I guess. It has like a unique things to Americans, but in the same time, it's a bit weird from us, just from the Europeans' perspective. We don't need it. Just and that's why I'm wondering why the Americans push so hard for it because it doesn't seem to have exactly a purpose. But again, that's us. From 2024, what we can see here. What I am surprised to see is not that many people actually on the street for a big city. If you go in Europe, in a big cities like this, it's gonna be jamming with cars, absolutely jamming with cars on pretty much any hours, unless you go like midnight. And also a lot of people on the street here for Detroit, Michigan, which is like a huge city. I mean, the biggest in the state. For whatever weird reason, things looks to be pretty chill here. And it's not because of the weather. It's October 2024, but doesn't seem to have that many people on the streets here, or even with the cars. I mean, there is no way in hell you go in Europe in the middle of the day in a middle of the town, and you think you're gonna have a parking space. No way. In the United States, since they don't have that problem, probably they pay for those parking spaces, which is kind of sucks in my opinion. You already have the place; it's already empty. Even though for like an extreme low tax, like $1 a day or something like that, or like 50 cents a day, something extremely low, so you can actually use the entire parking lot, not just make it for the profits, and not having a problem with that. But in Europe, it's gonna charge you like an insane amount of money. It's probably gonna charge you like $10 an hour or something like that in a center of the city, which is insane. And those parking lots usually gonna be empty. Almost nobody parks there, and the ones that they're genuinely free or at least a bit more affordable, absolutely free, and you don't have a place to park your car. So that's it's another way that Europeans success or is legislators push for demonizing the cars, in my opinion. Wow. We got in more fucked up area, but let me go back again to see something. Well, so keep in mind this is the main city, the main town, as you can see, and not that much green. But here we see a lot of green and a lot of individual houses in the east part of the town of the Detroit, and we already seen some really fucked up houses and neighborhoods. Although it's more green, so they have a huge potential here, as you can see. But I think this is November 2024, by the way. Things are not picking up so well for the city. I mean, like so close to the center, and genuinely a pretty nice area. I mean, there was much more green than you can see in the center. But I think all of those houses, or at least most of them, they look abandoned to me. So things again, not looking great at all. I mean, look at those guys. There's no way somebody lives here. I don't think so, and I hope nobody lives there either. Some of them, yeah, they look pretty decent. This one probably somebody lives there, but they have like a few abandoned houses on your block, and they don't usually look that great. Although the road looks pretty decent, better than we see in other parts. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe they don't use it that much because not that many people stays there. Could be a case. Some of them, they just look at it. They just make the house better. They just improve it. Fine, I guess. Interesting. I think like at some point it was like $1 house or something like that, extremely cheap. I'm not sure if that still applies, and probably comes with a lot of drawbacks too. But hey, it shows that when people don't want to live in a place and they leave or they abandon the house, you can pick them up for pretty cheap. So that's also a good thing. But yeah, also in the same time, if you have a town that goes bankrupt at some point, you better be sure that they're gonna go bankrupt again when things go south. So yeah, not a good thing. Let's see what else can we find here. The only thing, oh, look at this one. It's a really nice neighborhood one. It's actually the opposite. Look at the house, nice colonial house. The movie that I think most of them when I think about Detroit, it's Four Brothers. I think it represents the Detroit. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I'll say at least in that part of the time, but even now I don't think it changed that much. But this one, it's a really nice neighborhood. I mean, like, this is clearly a high income neighborhood, a rich one. How nice the house it is, like some sort of a German style. Nice front yards. I don't see the cars that are parked behind it, which looks pretty good. Nice tree line on the street, so you can see it's pretty much staying in the shade. A bit more trees for this house would be nice. This one, wow, really like it. It genuinely looks pretty good, this street. A lot of green. Again, I don't think it's, let me just, it's exactly the Detroit city, or it's like something, no, it's like Gross's Point Park, I think. Hope I'm say that right. Yeah, things are better here in this part here. Gonna be honest. And this one probably more rough. I see some. Actually, it's pretty good, but I see some fire here. What is going on in this one? No, I think it's just. Let me check on this. That was looking pretty good actually. Some sort of an abandoned house there. Okay. Those houses, you can see, much smaller. They have bars on the doors, so not that safe, I would say. Who knows? Maybe they use those houses for stashing the product. I don't know. Oh, this guy, look at this, how nice it is. See? They still have bars on the door. So it can't be that good. Some abandoned houses, some garbage problem there. Ooh, pretty tough, I have to be honest with you. But they have a lot of land, which is really good. It's extremely important to have the empty land. So you can actually space it much better for the for people to buy there and build a house and improve, let's say, the neighborhoods. Oh, look at this parking lot, how huge it is. Wow. Insanely big, insanely big. And you can see close to each other, and things can go south pretty quickly. Oh, look at this. This one is much better. Look at the architecture of the housing. That's really nice housing, although they need some roof repairs, but I think they kind of in the middle of that. Really nice. I like this one. Oh, look at this. It looks like a genuinely, look at this. It looks like a fairy tale. Look how nice this one is. Although the bars on the doors doesn't look that great, I have to be honest. And doesn't seem to be like a high income neighborhood. Look at this garbage here. And the house is really nice. Again, with this fence here, just please don't. It just make no sense. This one looks much better. I mean, they're looking pretty good. Pretty good. Look at this 3 series right here. Man, I like that. This one doesn't look so appealing to me, but hey. Let me check this street here. Probably it's the same, yeah. Although they kind of need a bit more trees here and there. But I like the architecture of the housing. They're really nice housing. On the outside, at least. Wow. Genuinely impressed. Although a bit close to each other and all that problems that they have, but still. The housing looking really nice. Here they even have a bit more trees. Man, how much garbage they have. This is clearly a garbage day. I hope so, at least. Look how much they have. A lot of toys. Maybe they clean up the garage. What is this? Is June. I don't know. They summer cleanup. And probably it's a black neighborhood. As you can see here, a lot of kids here that playing in that sort of the pool, I guess it is. But the housing, they look pretty good. They genuinely live in the nice neighborhood here. I mean, look at this. This is like more European than Europe, for God's sake, in some cases. I wish they can record even the time when they make those street views, not just the date. But it is the month and the year, just like the day and the hour. But oh, look at this. They genuinely, I like these streets. Look at how many houses they have. Oh my God. Keep in mind, 10 million people and look how many houses. Ooh, let's see what else can we find. Detroit is huge. It is huge. Obviously, the metro area that we're looking right now, even bigger than that. But the whole state, 10 million people. Probably again, we estimate. I do estimate like half of the houses, like 5 million houses, and look how many they are. It's hard to build, and a lot of people, a lot of housing. That's what I'm saying. When the population it's gonna start to go down, two things we're gonna see. First of all, they're gonna see more abandoned houses than the homeless people, which probably we already see that. And the second one, after a while, we're gonna see, first of all, if they have a good legislation, materials for building the house extremely cheap, and then in the last stage, the house itself is gonna be extremely cheap. And again, with the back to the abandoning housing, most of the houses that's gonna be in bad areas, to bad areas. Hmm, houses that they don't have that much land, they don't have like an interesting architecture, they don't have that much appealing factor, I would say, which right now they have because probably they're the cheapest one. But once the house itself overall, the market is gonna get cheaper and cheaper, and those houses is gonna pretty much remain abandoned because they were not good purchases in the first place. Nobody wanted to live there; they just need it, and yeah, we need to find a way to recycle those materials for those houses and to make sure you drove the cost of the new houses even lower, and in the same time you clear up land, which is a really good way to do things. This one I like it. Look at this. Although the houses are pretty close to each other, they find a way to have a bit more privacy. House itself is very nice, I have to say, very nice. Lands pretty good. Not sure exactly how much they have in the back, but still looking pretty nice here too. They have a driveway, which is good because I don't need in the park the car. Again, they have some sort of garage inside the house. I'm not a big fan of those, but I don't know. At least I don't see the cars from the street, which is pretty nice. You can see they look much more cleaner. We talk about this. They have like a steel one, really expensive. Wait, oh, look at this, Halloween. We talk about this. We don't use petrol for cutting our lawns in Europe. We're using the electric ones, and we have the electric battery ones. Sometimes with cables, the old versions. Now the new ones, we have the batteries. And the next stage that we start to see it is like remote control it, so you don't have to stay outside to clean. You can just set a perimeter, and the machine is gonna go and cut the grass by itself, or you can remote control it from your phone, for example. That's next stage. That's really good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care about staying outside and cutting the grass, so I can just sit on the on the chair or do anything else, eating whatever. And from time to time, I just look for the machine where it is, so make sure that doesn't cut my flowers or something like that. Uh, yeah, that's the next stage, which is really good. Save a lot of time for you and energy at the same time. I wish they can make them a bit quieter. That would be really good, but maybe the next generation. We'll see about that. Overall, this neighborhood looks pretty good. The roads, not so bad compared with what we see so far. Actually, pretty good. Nice space between the houses, at least in some areas. Nice houses, nice vegetation, looking pretty good. Clearly a high income area. I mean, look at this house. Insanely expensive for sure. There is no way you can buy one of those for like less than $1 million, or maybe half a million at the best case. But they look nice. I mean, like, this is a place that you actually want to live, and because of that, it's gonna be expensive. We know that. Tree line, absolutely amazing. Look at this. They have those tree lines. We talk about this. A lot of shade, as you can see. It doesn't get the tarmac, the road, insanely hot in the summers. So in the night, usually when that heat is released and pretty much heat up your neighborhood, and then you have to use AC and all that nonsense. Because of that, because that pretty much the tarmac stay in the shade. Um, you don't have very hot streets, very hot neighborhoods, so you can actually have, oh look, this BMW's brand new one's expensive. You can use the AC less or not at all. Again, if you have like a really good dehumidifier, you do not usually need an AC. And now we're talking about like from the environmental purpose and all of that. No, if you're not kidding about that, it's fine, no problem. Uh, it's because like usually some people, even me, um, when you're using an AC, usually you catch a cold, or it has that draft that makes you having a headache, which they're not pleasing no matter what. So that's why like and also an AC dehumidifies the water, the air so much, just like you're gonna make some cases for those more sensible people, you're gonna make your skin crack and have like really, let's say, a bad day. And for some this point, a lot of people don't even use it. So yeah, it's not about the environment; it's about the comfort. And it's the environment is like a nice bonus, I would say. And also a dehumidifier, you can use much less electricity, so the money is gonna stay much better in your wallet. I would say a lot of one of those giant ones. The same one, I don't know. Maybe it comes from the same street, but it's huge one. And judging by the layout of the street, as you can see, they're not straight line streets. You can see the neighborhoods are pretty nice in those areas too. And here in the round one, I expect to see the same nice ones, which it is nice neighborhoods. And this is what, April. In August, yeah, looks nicer. We go with the more recent one, so we can have a much better idea what's happening. Now they go back in 2018. Okay, it looks nice. It just looks nice. Another ways to see those things, like I said, it's like when you have a lot of vegetation and not exactly straight seats, usually things look better. When you move to the straight streets, as you can see here, the lands are a bit smaller, but even here it looks pretty good. I mean, like definitely we see much worse places, but it's not have the same feeling that the other one that we just saw. It's something different for sure here. It's not the same, but again, it is pretty decent. Let's move on to, I mean, like a huge state. It's gonna stay a while here. Let's move to the coastline. Let's see if we find something nice here. Usually we do. The road is pretty nice. So that's a nice improvement. And this is fall. This is November. And 2024 again, very recently. Houses a bit too close to each other, but they have a lake behind the house, which it is a pretty decent trade-off, I would say. Kind of weird to place your garage right that in the middle of your yard and then put a lot of concrete in your yard. Doesn't make sense what's happening there. At least not to me. I wish we have some picture, but probably that's like private properties. I wish we have like a 360 or something to see what's happening there on the beach, but yeah, not that much. Like we can see the best here. Oh, it's a raise. It's just lowering for the beach. Pretty nice. So nice bench here. The road, it's not exactly a road. I think it's one of those dirt road, but still pretty decent. Nice housing, probably from renting, judging by how many cars they are there. At least I hope so. There's way too many cars for one family. How many people live there? Um, it does look. I mean, the lake. It does look nice. I mean, imagine you have this house. It's a small size house, pretty good. Have a nice land here, or this house if you like those one more, and living that nice close to the lake, and you go there and take a bath every week, maybe every day if you're like really into it. Those houses are way too small. It's no, not very American to me. But if you live in one of those full size one or regular size one, let's call it like that, it's a really nice place to live. It's a really nice place to live for sure. Look at this Harley. I think it is a Harley. I don't know. It's have that vibe. Um, really nice. And you can see you don't even need paved roads. Still looking pretty nice. Have that nice forest feeling. And with the lake right there, does look nice. No 360 on the beach. Wow, that's weird. We have one here. Let's check this one. Oh, we have another two there. Yeah, probably people just go here to take up photos, but there are way too many people. Just not pleasing to see this one. I want to check this beach. Let's see this one. And have that nice harbor marina there. The beach is pretty clean. I don't see any problems there. So a bit too many people that I would like to see jamming all of them in this one. So private property right there. What the fuck? Who has the private property on the beach? That makes no sense whatsoever. I don't think they have private beaches in US from my knowledge. I'm not sure, but it's a bit weird that one. Clearly a high income. Not sure if it's a neighborhood here. It's like a high income street or whatever. It looks pretty good. Nice privacy, nice roads. I mean, like exactly high end, but still pretty good. I mean, pretty soon. Hopefully, we pass that this one because we start to see, or at least hopefully to see lowering population. Um, High end should never mean, but it kind of is even today a bit. Oh, that's a lighthouse. Wow, that's really amazing to have. No way you have a house. You're living in a lighthouse. Just for a second, just to see this. Man, if that is your house and you live in a lighthouse, it's amazing. I'm gonna be honest. That I don't care if you have a mansion or anything like that. You cannot be better than this guy. You can. This guy is not better than that guy. If you have a lighthouse and you live in that, it's where the fuck that was. This one. It's amazing. If you can live in a lighthouse, yeah, you are the man. That's it. You are the man right there. I don't care. I don't care if you have like $10 million house. You cannot beat this guy. Okay. Back to our story. Usually, right now, hopefully, I don't want to say it, but high end house kind of means in a way you have like really big, and we see that with really big lands with a nice house on it, but the lands make all the sense because they provide privacy, and unfortunately it's expensive, at least for now, to buy those huge lands in the nice area also. We're not talking about West Virginia here. And yeah, unfortunately, kind of is, but we have the discussion, if we are less people and we have more land available, everyone should get more land. And in the same time, look at the cemetery. And in the same times, with the new construction materials and all those improvements, we should be able to build cheaper houses with every single year, so you can have like a really nice house on a nice land with privacy, and that is going to make everyone having a high-end house. But even with that, you cannot be that guy with a lighthouse. There is no way. When you have a lighthouse in your house, I have to say it, you're better than everyone else immediately. It's just the way it is. You're better. Look at this nice bar here. I mean, we didn't go inside. And again, I like about that. I mean, it's a 360, so I guess they have different policies. You don't have to cover the people's faces. You can actually see them. That's nice. Look at this guy. Likes engines and Harley Davidson body. And it looks, well, by the way, I'm looking at them. Definitely, it's a Harley Davidson fan. It's a good thing. Hopefully, none of those crazy ones, but it seemed like a racing bar or something like that, or NASCAR bar. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. Wow, looks pretty good. And the dead reindeer right there makes it a bit better. I would say weird but better. Nice bar. And from the outside is this one. Very American. Very American. Garbage trucks here. We talked about the garbage trucks in the past. There is definitely better ways of doing this. Roads here looking pretty good. I mean, this coastline looks pretty nice. This is like one of those RV parks that I will never understand. Maybe it's just me. Let's check this farming land here again. Farms. They should have, and those windmills, again, we talk about them, makes no sense whatsoever for anyone except for losing money and losing beauty and losing land. That's it. Roads here looking pretty good. Again, a lot of farmland in the United States. I'm surprised. How the fuck they have so expensive food if they have so much farming land? It's insane. I don't know, but they have it, so it is what it is, I guess. Roads here. I mean, like, roads should be it kind of is a pretty bad in this state so far. I mean, they have really good areas, but we see a lot of bad ones, more than the average, I would say. Not horrible, every single one of them, obviously, and I want to go there, but I mean, look at it. This one is it was pretty nice. This is 2013. We have a recent one, no. And in 2012 was better? Not that much. It was actually the same. On average, I would say it's worth. But yeah, not something extremely horrible like every single one of them. It's absolutely insane. And They need to step up immediately. A lot of blur here for whatever reason. Really nice here, looking pretty good. The roads here, see, it's a bit better. It's better actually, not just a bit, much better. Neighborhoods pretty good. Again, I keep saying this. Compare Europe with America. We make the European videos. Probably in the future, I'm gonna make um, some more European videos, actually compare them with the United States side by side. I'm telling you, the Americans genuinely live better than Europeans when talking about the actual living space and housing. And look at this fucked up road here. Then the Europeans one, you're gonna see it. East Europe doesn't even qualify, but the West Europe, they live better than the East for sure, but not as good as the Americans, and is that probably because a lot of Europeans living in apartment buildings, in small ones, and in my opinion, I don't care how nice it is, you automatically you get disqualified for that because nobody wants to live in an apartment building. Compared with this one, I mean, look at this. Who wants to live in an apartment building compared to like a nice small house on the big land? I would choose this every time. Yes, you can say it's a different position here. It's not in a main city. It's not that much happening here. But that's the location. We're not talking about location, especially. We see in the United States houses in the like most of them. Look at this. They're living in a town, in a city, and it's still better. An individual house, it's better than an apartment every single time. I mean, this one is going to be better than an apartment for sure. Even though it is like a low or a medium, more like a low income neighborhood, it's still better than the medium or high income apartment neighborhood in Europe. Again, this nonsense that in Europe, okay, in Europe have more population, think smaller land, different culture also, but it's fucked up. I mean, like nobody wants to live in an apartment. That's why you're gonna see a lot of Europeans when migrate to the United States. A part of besides job and all that things, a part of that, the main one in my opinion, it is because you in Europe you can never in their lifetime and probably in the long time from now you can never have something like this. Individual houses, family for people. In Europe, you are kind of forced to live, especially in the cities, in apartments building. We have houses here too, but usually in small towns that genuinely nothing happened. We just live anyway, and not that appealing houses, still expensive, still doesn't make any sense. This is a nice road here, as you can see. Look at this guy living perfectly here. Although again, nice area, nice quiet place. Uh, I see that now that it's not for everybody for sure. For sure, this house in better days. Definitely seen better days. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Make people pleasing, pleasing all of them, all the groups. Not something easy for sure. Ooh, I wanna check those one. What is going on in here? It feels like a nice lagoon here. Definitely expensive area to live. Definitely expensive. Oh, I mean the inside not that expensive to be honest, but the outside definitely is gonna be. Can we see on the? I wanna see that beach there. Oh, look at this one. Yeah, yeah, nice on the lake. Look at the water, how clear it is, man. Wow. This is better than the ocean, for God's sake. You have a boat there, you have the nice sunny day. You have a good life here. I bet they have some good taxes too. Make sure they ruin it for everybody. It's a football day. Americans usually have like big TVs. This is what 2018, probably that's why, because they usually have like big TVs. Angry Birds right there. I mean, it's kind of weird to go in someone's house, but I guess they put that there, so I have to check it. Nice fireplace here. I like the windows. As you can see, they go down, but not all the way down, which I start to like this design more and more. And they have another windows here, so you have the light coming from two different directions, which is pretty good. An old map, absolutely great. And also interior design, usually it is better. American, it is better than European. A lot of European compare with like the top of the top, but doesn't make that sense because barely anyone, I would say like no one's actually live in those high European houses because they make so expensive. But the average Americans inside that they have in the house live better than the average European, so that's we should look for, not be picking only what we want to see. Really nice houses, really nice garden, a nice again street. Some problem on the road. I like this blue house. It is really nice. Look at the barbecue. They look at the nice door here. Doesn't make any sense, but it is there. It is there, a nice door. They have the dock there. They have jet skis. They have a good life. For God's sake, now I hate them. Look at this. Again, really nice area. Everybody should live like that. Unfortunately, if you want to go there, probably if you can afford the property, they're gonna squeeze you for taxes as much as they can, and it's a really bad policy, in my opinion. Look at the water. How clear it is. It's insane. It's insane how clear. It's like super clean water. I seen oceans, ocean of seas. I never see ocean. I see seas more dirty than this one. It does look like Bahamas feeling to me. And look at this, they have a lot of land, so you can actually build there. But again, probably they're gonna charge an insane amount of money for pretty much nothing. Unfortunately, we don't have 360s here. That would be really nice to see it. We have here on this dock, I guess, or whatever it is. But let's see it. Yeah. A lot of boats looking nice. Looking nice in the parking lot there. Kind of like it. Really like it. Really digging this vibe here. Does look great. Oh, I have a smaller one here. Oh, that's even better. And they have an opening to the big one. Okay. Would be nice if you have an opening to the bigger one. And so on. The good thing is that you can see they have a lot of land available. So it is possible to actually build a house there. Unfortunately, again, it's going to be the price problem. But at least there is land available. At some point, they have to make it cheaper. I mean, look how it looks from above. This is Bahamas. You don't have to go in Bahamas anymore if you're living in a place like this. Absolutely great. Absolutely great. Good for them. And what, you have even desert? What the fuck? There's no way there is desert here. I mean, kind of. Kind of. Not sand dunes, but still pretty close, I would say. The closest you can get to the desert. Would be insane if they have all of them here, like sand dunes and Bahamas and cities and all of that. Ooh, it could be a sand dune. Like really high quality. I like it. It is kind of a sand dune. It's not more like Oregon dunes, I would say. Sand dunes looks nice. It does look nice. You can explore the sand dunes in a cold environment. You don't have to worry about the heat. That's really good. Wow, the Michigan really looks pretty nice. Not sure about these Democrats there, but otherwise, again, this is north part here. It's kind of where we are, just for a second. We are right in that tip there, right in the Democrat Party. Okay, we got fucked up a bit, but it is what it is. But at least look good. It does look good, I have to say. Have a really good place here. Nice beach. Yeah, it's nice. It is nice. America has it all. Oh my god, they have even those nice islands here. Let's check those. You can actually build on those too, but on living on the island is usually more expensive than it's worth it. It's better to just have like a vacation house there or just go there and rent one for a weekend and that's it. I'm fine with renting one for the weekend if you don't ask me like an insane amount of money, obviously. Ooh, nice. Really nice. I wish you could make those 360 in the winter to see more of them, how they look. This one, it was making a winter from the snow, but it's the satellite image. Really nice. And the rest of them, yeah, I expect this part here, it's pretty much Republican, so yeah. But it looks pretty good. We have a quarry here, I think. I'm not sure. Let's check those houses here. In the Republican part. Road, pretty decent. Houses, pretty average, I would say. Oh, the road actually is pretty good. Yeah, pretty nice even here. Oh, this one get better. Oh, they have a lake. Okay, it's looking pretty good actually. I wish we can have again picture from the beach, but we don't. Oh, we have one here. Let's check this one. I didn't click on that one, but fine. Ooh, not exactly great weather to make those 360s, but I kind of get it. I can go this one. No, I want to see that one. Doesn't allow me, then fuck you. wanna check. This is from the road. I wanna check from the beach, but still pretty close. Yeah, yeah, like it. Like it. Pretty nice. Oh, look at those houses here close. I mean, like kind of camouflage there. The roads here, wow, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's a nice house there in the woods. A forest. Pretty good. Pretty good. The mailbox there, pretty good. Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great. Nothing to worry there. And we have on the 360 here. Let's check this one. It is the same clear water. Yes, it is. Clear water. Yeah, I have to say, sometimes a lake is better than the ocean or the sea. It genuinely it is. This 360, although is kind of fucked up. Who the fuck does something like that and still post it? Get the fuck out of here. Ooh, nice rich people houses here, as we can see. Oh, this guy probably is for renting or something. I don't know. They make a lot of them in the yards. Man, you live with a house in a goddamn forest. I must say, it's pretty interesting. I don't think this. Maybe you can go to the beach. Oh yeah, they have like a small opening here. Let me check this one. Wow, that's kind of weird tree there. And you don't have to worry about the sea rising levels here. There is no way you're gonna have that. Not sure what kind of a plants those. I think it's a plant, right? I don't think it's like steel bars or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a nice place. It's a nice place to stay for sure. Look at the water. They're doing well. I have to say, Michigan kind of impressed me. Really impressed. And they have a lot of coastline, a lot of land available. Okay, this one is taken, but they have a lot of land. And you can actually build on that. And you have the lifestyle that you should have in the first place. Man, look at this, a nice small marina here. I wanna check this one. Mm-hmm. Not a lighthouse, but still pretty nice. They doing well. Again, Americans doing well. Very well. It's a lot to see here. Oh my god. You're never gonna finish this video. But they got me, you know, when they show me those lake, beach, house. I'm a big sucker for those, so I like it. They genuinely live pretty nice. Yeah, yeah. This one again, it's one of those. If you have a bit more money, it's better to just live on the coastlines. But yeah, not sure how much you actually need. Those guys here, they know it better. I mean, they have the privacy. It's kind of insane of privacy actually here. And yeah, nice house. I can even see the houses for God's sake. Nice lake. They're looking great. Looking great. Yeah. Let's check on this island. Let me check this one too. I mean, like again, it's a lot to see. We can barely have time for everything, but a lot of coastline, which is good. I like it, and we have some sort of a housing here, whatever. Look how nice it looks. Yeah, yeah. You know what they say? It's not all the Michigan is the same, but some parts definitely are better than others. And this road also looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm not bothered about this dirt road either. It's actually pretty nice. The main road's pretty good. Unfortunately, we don't have that many 360 to see what's happening here. Oh, let me check this one. Have some view on the beach. Not like this guy. Have bad quality. Oh yeah, look at this. It kind of reminds me when I make that video about the west coast of United States. Feels a bit like Oregon to me, and it's pretty good. And then let's see this 360 here. I mean, like the fact that we have a lot of land to build on that's pretty great. Can provide for most of the people to living in a place like that, a lifestyle like this. Absolutely great. Absolutely great. And a lot of them, so far, only the rich ones, mainly the rich one, not only the rich one. Oh, look at this, a nice opening here. Yeah, I know the road, it ends there. I can see that. I don't need a sign for it. I'm not gonna drive in the water, for God's sake. Really nice here. Like it. Really like it. I didn't expect Michigan to be that nice. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, like anybody say Michigan, I kind of think like the main city, like Detroit and a couple of others, and that's it. But no way. And like I said, the average Americans in the Western world, at least in our um, part of the world, lives better than the average Europeans. Just the way it is. If you don't wanna accept that, that's your problem. But they live better. They live better. And another reason that it is a lot of people wants to move to United States is because of this. There is no way in hell you will have something like this in Europe, unless you live in extremely expensive areas, which you don't. So that's what I'm saying. If United States figured out a better legislation for building and a building code that allows for most of the people to living in those nice neighborhoods and build those nice neighborhoods, even they don't exist in the first place, and somehow they manage to make the oh, look at this house. Again, I'm not a big fan of those multiple store house, but this one looks great. Wow, I want to have a house with a tower like this guy. It does look nice. I will stay probably. I will put my office right there after, or here, just to see the lake. Looking great. Oh, I like this blue too. It's pretty nice. Um, if they manage somehow to make the materials extremely cheap and durable, and more available for everyone, yeah, it's over for Europe. I have to say, it's genuinely over, and limit migration, obviously, outside the Western world. It's over for Europe. There is no way. If you have the opportunity to, again, America do all of those things, and you have the opportunities to move here, don't even think about it. Just go for it. You will never gonna have something like this in Europe, ever, ever. And again, migration is different. It's different to have migration from the second or third world countries to the first one, and different than have migration just inside the first world countries, inside the Western world. It's different. It's not the same. It doesn't compare. Wow, it's really nice here. It is well. Look at this camera here. Okay, pretty expensive. Not sure if I put it right there, but fine. It is different for sure. It does look great. There's no way you're gonna have this in you again. If you live on the Mediterranean coastline in Europe, yeah, you might have a few of those things, but again, in pretty expensive areas too. So on the average, America still offers more because you can have, look at this, those nice lakes. They are colder environment for sure than the Mediterranean Sea, obviously, but still. Damn it just offer choices of living, just different lands, different ways, and they have a lot of land available. That's really good, really good. And probably gonna see next century, who knows. America should, I mean, like they kind of did for a while. I don't know exactly why they changed it that much, but it is what it is. America usually took migration from the Europe, from the Western world inside it, so it was easy to adapt. It was like seamless. But now, for whatever reason, they opened. I mean, for the reason we know the reason, they opened to to third world countries, and mainly because of the Democrats, they want to get so much votes from those because they know uh, people who came from Europe, they don't came in United States because they want to bring with them the left ideology or the communist. It's exactly the opposite. We hate it. So they know that. So they kind of don't like it, to push, which is going to be really interesting opportunity for the Republicans in a way, accept migration only from Europe because we already know how fucked up it is to live in those pretty much leftist continent, leftist European Union, and we know there is no way we want that again. And nobody in that came from Europe, at least, will ever vote for Democrats, ever. After the experience that we have here with the European Union, there is no way. Oh, that's a nice ice there. If this is in the winter, no, it's in the summer. Looks pretty good. So that would be an interesting way, I never thought of that. Of the accept migration for the Republican Party, but only from Europe, from the Western Europe and the Western world, obviously. You can accept from Australia, New Zealand. That would be interesting. You still have migration, but you have like the good one. That would be something, but not that much. Obviously, you're not gonna see that huge numbers that we have it from the third world countries. No way. Hmm. It's interesting opportunity, I would say. We will see. We will see. Hmm. But obviously, they need to fix a lot, being like the housing market and all of that for everyone. Not creating like the Democrats creating like incentive for the migrants to move in. No, everybody should be treated different. It should be treated the same, not to treat be different. Um. So oh, that's really nice here. So that's how they should do it. Everyone is treated the same. Democrats treat those migrants like they are the saviors of the planet or something, which it's kind of a weird because this guy needs to lose some fat quickly. Which is weird because their own population have, in some cases, less opportunity than the migrants, which is insane. And it is what it is, I guess. And the weird part is like again, the people still voting for the Democrats. It's like, okay, I guess it is what it is. That's a really nice place. Wow. Kinda like it. I like the oh yeah. I'm gonna be honest, it started to become my favorite state. Wow, look at this. Michigan doing really well. I mean, again, more Canadian vibes, but there is no way you can risk anything with Canada right now, especially insane. I can forget that when they blocked the accounts in the pandemic to those truck drivers. That was fucking insane. That was like the most dictatorship that I saw in the Western world. That is that will never be forgotten. There should be books about that. Read it, write it. Um, it's insane. It's insane how you can do something like that in the Western world and still remain in power. It's insane. There is no way. But it happened. And I think we don't talk about enough about what happened then. It is what it is. Wow. Really nice place. I mean, like Michigan, yeah, in this part, and this is what? This island, it's some part like a bit democratic there. Which is probably exact that one. No, not exactly that one, but it's more like this one. It does look great. It does look great. Who knows? Maybe in the future you're gonna see more of those ones that they go in Republicans, and the only one that remains in this Detroit area, which seems to have all the problems that we see on the TV, at least in Europe, in this Detroit area right there. I don't know. It's weird. You have the most problem there, and you're choosing the most problematic type of government to fix them, which they never did. So again, it is what it is. But the rest of the Michigan, it does look amazing, I have to say, especially this part there and this one on the coastline. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a big fan of those lakes now. I mean, okay, they have opening to one, two, three main ones, four if you count this one here too. So most of them, and this one too. Oh, they have opening to almost all of them inside this one. Yeah, it is great. The Michigan, it genuinely looks super nice. Again, probably. I mean, I like Florida too, but when I see those two comparison, I don't want to live with crocodiles and snake and all that nonsense. Although they have better weather, I understand that, but they have hurricanes here, so I'm not a big fan of those either. Michigan, on the other hand, looks really nice. I mean, like I kind of start to prefer lakes, which is insane. Prefer lakes than the ocean and sea. It genuinely does look good. They have sweet water. You don't have to worry about um, salty water entering your eyes. Your eyes. Um, Although they have some benefits with that too. Um, Genuinely nice. Genuinely nice place to live, Michigan. It does. It became. I think it's one of my favorite states so far. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, they use. I'll use like those New England ones here, but now I think I move out to the Michigan. It does genuinely look nice. Although again, is the climate, is the cold, but with a heat pump, a really efficient one, and some solar panels in the future, we can fix that pretty much for free, almost. Yeah, I think if you live in Michigan, you, especially in those nice areas, you kind of won the jackpot. It does, it does. And there are most of them that are Republican areas, so you don't have to worry about nonsense. It does look pretty good. The only Democrats one, probably those ones. I can see a few of them. They're the one with the problematic. This is the more democratic here. You can see the light democratics here, so not that insane. So it could be manageable even in those ones, but this one in Detroit area, yeah, I will stay away from that. But yeah, that was the Michigan, looking really nice, and definitely it's worth it to live there for sure. I really like it, really like it. Didn't expect this one. I can wait from the desert ones. I really like the desert too. That's why you can see here a bit of a desert, so we're not exactly missing out on that, but not the same. Although they have snakes here, so I don't like that either. So in those cold environments, usually don't have the snakes. So that's a huge plus to me. And also another huge plus, you don't have mosquitoes that much, although it's on the lake. So depends on the timeline. In the summer, probably you have those too, but at least in the winter, they all die. So we are pretty good. Yeah, that was Michigan. I give them an A plus. I have to be honest. It does look the best so far. I like the south part too, like South Carolina. Some things there nice too. But this one, yeah, like it a lot. Okay, see you next time.